So Dave, you're not gonna stop playing the game now, brother?
No, it nah go so, brother. It nah go so. Man, shot man, you.
We kind of done the
And after him shot me, him teabag me, man, you.
gaming section of the review, you know.
And after him teabag me, him shot me again.
Yeah, but you have to understand we have other things.
And then throw one grenade bomb him, me have to shoot him, me
Alright,
have to
fine.
shoot him.
Fine, go on. Hello folks, and welcome to another episode of Technicational. My name is Peyton Wilmot, and today we're going to be looking at the A12. This is one of the most requested phones for me to review, so I put everything aside and I am reviewing this right now and getting it out to you. Now, this is one of the lowest costing phones in the A line you can find in Jamaica to buy, and if you're really interested in buying this after the review, you can actually check it out at the Samsung Experience Store in Tropical Plaza. So without further ado, let me get right into the review. So this is the A12 in all its glory. Very unique looking phone. It doesn't look like the rest of the A line, but before we actually talk about the phone, let's talk about what you get in the box, and that is you do get headphones in the box, which is a plus. You get a charger, which is amazing. Seem like only the A phones them come with chargers now. And you also get a USB Type-C cable to charge the phone and transfer data to the phone as well. So the first thing you're going to notice when you hold this phone is that one, it's not really all that light. It doesn't feel cheap and light, and it also is made of mostly plastic. Now, moving a little bit deep into the specifications of this phone, you have a quad camera setup at the back with a 48 megapixel, a 5 megapixel, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth camera. Moving a little bit deeper, you have a 6.5-inch IPS display with a teardrop camera that is 8 megapixel. You also have a 5000 milliamp hour battery stuffed inside this thin phone, and I guess this is the reason why the phone is so heavy. On the right side of the phone, you have a volume rocker, and you also have a power button that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. At the bottom of the phone, you have a USB Type-C port, and you also have a headphone jack, which is great. You don't really see headphone jacks on phones these days. So people, there are two things I really want to mention before we come out of the specification area, and that is when it comes to storage and memory configuration, the A12 have a whole heap of variants. You can get 2 gigs of RAM coupled with 32 gigs of storage, all the way up to 6 gigs of RAM coupled with 128 gigs of storage. So it really depends on which one you find and you can buy. Also, the second thing I really want to mention is that this phone is dual SIM capable, and it also has support for memory cards. So you can hold 2 SIM and a memory card, no compromise. So we're at the section where we talk about performance, and I'm going to actually come out of this English speaking language and go into Patois, because people, Jano, the one when we did a review is not the lowest model that have 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. The Samsung Experience Store don't have that low ass model. The one I had is the one with 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. Wanna understand? Cool. So let's go into performance for this phone. So Dave was actually running PUBG and was actually running Call of Duty on this phone, and he could not complain that the phone was bad. He was just bad. Really bad at these games. But I was surprised that the MediaTek chipset inside performed awesome. A matter of fact, I've never seen this phone lag at any point in time. And you remember when I was talking about the A11 and how the specs did look crazy and it just never performed? Yeah, the A12 is a big improvement over the A11. it is a champ when it comes to performance. So you don't have to worry that you are not going to be able to play your PUBG or your Call of Duty or any games whatsoever on the A12. So we're at the part where we talk about camera quality, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't really expect a lot from the A12, but I was decently surprised. The A12 takes pretty decent photos in daylight once you have a lot of light in the background, and the night shots weren't bad, weren't perfect, but definitely not bad. You can actually use some of these night photos. So we're at the section where we'll talk about battery life. I'm going to be honest with you people, if you pair a 5000 milliamp hour battery with a screen that doesn't use a lot of power, you get a device that the battery life is, I'm still trying to process the word, something more than amazing. But anyway, yeah, the battery life for the A12 is ridiculous. No matter what you're doing with the A12 in a day, it won't die within that day. As a matter of fact, depending on what kind of user you are, you can actually get through 2 entire days without charging this phone. So what are my final thoughts on the Samsung Galaxy A12? I'm going to be honest with you people. The first thing, I only have one problem with this phone, and that is the poor sunlight visibility. Literally, me there in the sun, I try to use this phone and I thought the phone was dead. I could not see anything. So apart from the fact that this phone is made for Dracula and you only can use it in dark, gloomy places or in night, everything else is really good. It performs great when you're playing games, you can take pictures in the day really good, and night photos are pretty decent. So there you have it folks, the full review of the A12. If you're interested in buying this phone, you can get it at the Samsung Experience Store in Tropical Plaza. They have this and all the phones in the A lines for this year. And they also have the S21 line of phones. Anyhow folks, thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for staying to the end of the video, and if you're not subscribed as yet, please do, it helps me out a lot, and please smash that like button if you like my content so I can continue to make this content for you. Anyhow folks, thanks again, and until next time, peace.
Snakes in the grass, you gotta watch where you step. Blood on the leaves, you either kill or be killed. When there's food on the table, you either eat or you starve. And when the sharks in the water, you either sink or you swim. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there.